Hey folks, Scott Jeffy here. I'm wondering whether anyone else out there has been hearing rumblings of from institutional stakeholders of possibly, oh, we avoided the demographic cliff bullet this year. And look, I certainly understand institutional folks looking for bright spots. And we had quite a number of bright spots. As a matter of fact, we've seen a record number of stories that are indicating that institutions met record enrollment. That does not mean that any institution has avoided the demographic cliff. I'm going to try to not use that term anymore. I'm going to talk about demographic shifts for all kinds of reasons you can read about on my blog. But what I want to make sure folks understand is nobody avoided the demographic cliff this year. If they grew enrollment, they avoided a lot of other things that have come down the pike in the last 12 months. But the demographic cliff was never scheduled to take hold until 2026. In my new paper, which is an update of something I wrote at RNL a year ago, this was the core chart. A year ago, new census data based in the 2020 rather than the 2010 census brought out the fact that what we see here, this second circle, is a second demographic decline in 18-year-olds that will almost immediately follow the one that has been being talked about for 5 to 7 years, which is the one that starts in 2026 and ends in about 2030. So we don't want to spur on folks that think maybe the demographic cliff is not happening. It just still has not happened. Now, in the paper that I wrote now, I brought in some additional things. Of course, the new WICHE data that's come out since I published that at RNL. But there's also been IPEDS data that has shown things like this. Now, the first chart was in the WICHE report, and that shows on the left-hand side that graduation rates at among American high school students have been increasing very steadily. And there was this question of whether that could help avoid some of the impact of the demographic cliff. What WICHE said in that report was it will not. There's no way that we can get much past 87%. And even if we did, for all kinds of reasons that you can read about in their analysis and knocking on the college door, that's not going to happen. One of the things that I brought into the picture is the chart on the right, which is percent of recent high school students that are enrolling in higher ed has declined almost every year in the last 10 years. Now, could that be a strategy to address the demographic cliff? Absolutely. Probably a more doable strategy in a way than further increasing graduation rates. But given the skepticism out there, particularly among Gen Z students, look at my blog. I wrote a little while back about who is dissatisfied with higher ed. It's not older students, it's younger students. And so that while that is a strategy, it's not one that I've put in what follows in this report, which is five important strategies for institutions to put in place to prepare themselves for what is looking like 20 to 25 years of a challenge among the undergraduate traditional population. Give it a read. It's up on my website. You can download it. And I'm going to try to put it under here in the comments. But if not, find it at scottjeffy.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll look forward to hearing your comments. Take care. Bye-bye.